The ballroom fell silent the moment Olivia's wheelchair rolled across the polished floor. Her deep red dress shimmered under the chandeliers, but the fear in her eyes dimmed everything around her. People stepped aside, whispering, confused about why the CEO, once known for her unstoppable confidence, looked so fragile. And then, standing inches from her, a furious man leaned down, his voice low and sharp. "Don't lie to me, Olivia." "Get up," he ordered. Olivia's hands trembled against the armrests. Her voice cracked as she looked up at him. I can't walk, please don't hurt me." Behind them, a janitor in green coveralls watched quietly, gripping his mop handle. No one paid attention to him, but his eyes, steady, alert, never left the scene. No one knew he carried a secret that would soon change everything for Olivia, and for everyone in that room. Before we continue, if you love stories about compassion, second chances, and the power of kindness, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment on our channel, Kindness Action. Your support helps us keep sharing stories that warm the heart and inspire the world. Now, let's begin the full story. Olivia Brooks had once been the definition of success. As the CEO of a major tech company in Chicago, she commanded rooms with confidence, led with strength, and built her life around independence. But that changed after a terrible car accident 6 months earlier. Doctors saved her life, but she lost the ability to walk. Overnight, her world shifted from running meetings and flying city to city, to learning how to navigate a wheelchair, how to ask for help, how to start over. The man shouting at her in the ballroom was Daniel Hale, a former business partner who blamed Olivia for ending a risky deal he desperately wanted. After her accident, he grew even more bitter, convinced she was hiding her strength to gain sympathy, as he called it. He cornered her at a charity gala, ignoring the shocked faces around them, demanding she stand, prove him wrong, prove she wasn't faking it. Olivia's shoulders curled inward. She hated looking weak. She hated feeling powerless. And more than anything, she hated people thinking she was using her condition for attention. But the reality was simple and heartbreaking. She truly couldn't stand. As Daniel leaned closer, something shifted across the room. The janitor took a step forward. No one noticed except Olivia, who caught a glimpse of him over Daniel's shoulder. She had seen him earlier in the hallway, quietly cleaning the floor, smiling politely whenever someone walked by. She didn't know his name. She didn't know his story. But right now, he was the only one who looked genuinely concerned. "Sir," the janitor finally said, his voice calm but firm. "That's enough." Daniel whipped around, furious. "This has nothing to do with you." The janitor didn't flinch. "Actually, it does." He stepped closer, placing himself between Daniel and Olivia. "Because I know what she's going through." The room grew even quieter. People leaned in. Even Daniel hesitated. The janitor took a breath. "My name's Mark. 2 years ago, I was a firefighter. I loved my job. I loved helping people. But during a rescue operation, a building collapsed. I was trapped for hours. When they pulled me out, doctors said I might never walk again." Gasps traveled through the ballroom. Olivia's eyes widened. Mark continued, "I spent months in a hospital bed. I thought my life was over. But eventually, I got partial movement back. Enough to stand, enough to walk, but not without pain. Not without fear. And not without understanding what it feels like to be judged for something you didn't choose." He turned toward Daniel, his voice still steady. "Disability isn't something you test someone on. Pain isn't something you accuse someone of faking. You don't know what she's fought through just to be here tonight." Daniel's face tightened, but for the first time, he looked unsure, almost guilty. Mark then looked down at Olivia. "You don't owe anyone proof. Not tonight, not ever." Something in Olivia cracked. Not from weakness, but from relief. She had carried her struggle alone for so long, trying to stay strong, trying not to burden anyone, trying to live like the same CEO she once was. But here was a stranger who understood her pain without her saying a single word. Daniel stepped back, his confidence dissolving. He muttered something under his breath and stormed out of the ballroom. People slowly returned to their conversations, but their glances had softened. Their expressions showed empathy instead of pity. Mark gently asked Olivia, "Are you okay?" Tears gathered in her eyes, but she nodded. Thank you. I didn't expect anyone to step in. That's the thing about kindness, Mark said quietly. People don't expect it. But they never forget it. Olivia smiled for the first time that night. You said you were a firefighter. How did you end up working here, as a janitor? Mark shrugged. I needed a job that wouldn't push my body too hard. Something stable while I recover more. People see the uniform and assume they know my story. But life's not that simple. We're all carrying something. His words sank into her heart. She knew all too well what it felt like to be judged at a glance. Before he walked away, Mark added, if you ever need help with anything, reaching something high, moving around, or even just talking, don't hesitate. Olivia exhaled slowly. For the first time since her accident, she didn't feel alone. She didn't feel broken. She felt human. Seen. Understood. In the months that followed, Olivia rebuilt her confidence step by step. She created new company policies supporting employees with disabilities, inspired by Mark's courage and compassion. She invited him to speak at events about resilience and kindness, and he became a quiet hero in their community. And whenever Olivia felt overwhelmed, she remembered that night in the ballroom, the night a janitor revealed a secret that reminded her she still had strength, purpose, and hope. Kindness doesn't always come from the people you expect. Sometimes it comes from someone in the background, someone unnoticed, someone who sees your pain because they've lived their own. And when kindness shows up, it changes everything. So wherever you are, whoever you are, remember this, a small act of compassion can rewrite someone's entire day, or even their entire life. Go out there and be that change. The world needs your kindness.